Welcome back to the OFA Copy and Design School. This is Dan Havey with CF Ninja Hacks, and in this video we are going to start working on the membership area by first creating the membership access page, and then in a later video we will do the membership area. So again, we're going to start off as always. We're going to create a new step, and in this case here, what should we call this? Let's call it Mama's Family Access. And we will click on create the funnel step. And as always, we're going to come up and we are going to pick out our funnel type first. So we're going to come up to membership and click on member access. And then I should have a blank template in here. We will grab a hold of that. And first thing we're going to do is just make sure that our paths went in right. I've shown you enough times on how to do this. So as long as you set up your path when we originally did it and you are named it the way you want it to be named, Mama's Family Access, the path should be set up properly there. And we will look at publishing and it should be set up properly there as well. And it is, and you're going to notice down here, normally there's a bunch of boxes for special functions you can do. Those are not available anywhere in the membership area. So now let's click back onto Overview, and we're going to go in and access the page and start to edit it. And as always, we're just going to start up in the settings tab, come down to our SEO metadata. And again, what you're going to notice here is there's nothing in here for the SEO metadata, but let's just put in the title anyway. We'll put in Mama's Family Access. And in some of my other training, I'm going to show sometime how you can actually create it so you do have the ability to be able to put in the social media stuff, so that if you want to send somebody directly to this access page, which I very strongly suggest you do, if you want to send them to this access page, you can put it into your social media, into Facebook, and it will show a social media image. It will show a description, a title, all that kind of stuff, but that's for another day. So we have settings here, no tracking or anything at this point. Background, we're going to actually work on that quite a bit, but let me bounce back out of there. Let's just go in and set our typography, and we might as well stick with our Adamina font for most everything. As you saw, I've been using Adamina, or also a little bit of what I think is Fahala and Oswald. I've been kind of going back and forth on these two, but most of the fonts have been Adamina. Now, what I want to do is I want to create a Mama's homepage as well, where we'll have some pictures of food, we'll have access to the menu, that kind of stuff, and also there have links to the membership area. And we're also going to make that the default page in the funnel, so that if somebody types in Mama Luigi's Pizza, they're going to end up on Mama's homepage, and there's going to be a link where people can go get coupons, and a link to the members area, and like I said, the rest, and the recipe book too will probably have a link in there, but at a higher price than if you went through the funnel. And you'll be able to also be able to sign up for Mama's Family, but again at a higher price, that kind of thing there. So what I want to do is, I was playing around a little bit with what I think I want Mama's homepage to look like. So I thought we should probably make this page look kind of similar to Mama's homepage. So let's start off. I found a background image that I wanted to use for this. So we're going to come in here and we're going to grab that background image, and it's right there. And let me see here. I think I wanted fill 100% width. I did. And as you can see, obviously I just ripped this thing off the internet. So again, as I always say, I don't own the rights to these images. So make sure when you do yours, you swap out my images for yours. Otherwise, you'll just go to jail and we'll all have to cry. So let's go now here. We're going to create a section, and not manage a section. We're going to add a section. And we're going to make this like a medium width, because I want it to kind of come in here between the vegetables and bowls and stuff on the outer sides. And so now you can't really see it, but let's just, before we go any further, let's dump an image in here. And let's go grab that image. Like I said, I've kind of worked on this a little bit. And now let's just put in a whole bunch of padding so that we can see what this is going to look like. Still not enough. Let's put a little padding on this row. Just push it down some. We need a 1-column row in the middle. And let's just put in a bunch of padding on that, just so we can have it fill up the entire page so we can see what we got so far. Okay, so this is what I want. So we got this this gal here behind here, big smiley face, and we got her holding on to, I don't know if those are calzones or what those are, but I think that looks pretty nice. We got the background, we got this here. So now all we need to do really, I mean, setting up one of these access pages is really quite simple. There's only a couple of elements that you really need. So let's start off with, we're going to want to put a headline in here. So we'll just add a new element. And we'll just say we want it to be the headline element. And then right below the headline element, we are going to put in the only special element on the page, which is the user login. So we'll put that in as well, and it didn't take. So let's try this again. We'll click on that. And so we have our user login. And now, before we forget, one thing we are going to need is we'll come down to the bottom and we are going to need to put in our footer. You want to have your footers with your disclaimers and all that stuff on every single page. So we'll grab a hold of our footer and drag that down to the bottom. And we'll drop it down there. And let's see what that looks like. That looks fine to me. We'll take out this text. So we have all kinds of space right here, and let's see here, it should be some margin at the top of this, so we will take out that margin, and let's pull that down closer. Top padding, now we'll leave that at 50. Let's see here, what do we have? Oh, this image is not fitting all the way down. Oh, I see. Yeah, the image is not as tall as the frame that we have, which is fine because we made that super big. We don't need it nearly that big, so let's knock this down. Let's make that 500, and that should pull us all together at the bottom. Okay, good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop for a couple of minutes here, just get my thoughts together, build out the page, and then I'll jump back in because I have some JavaScript code that I want to throw in here that is really going to help with everything on the page, and I'll explain to you why I do it when I come back. Okay, so here we go. I got the site all built out, and so you just scroll down to the bottom. I made this center part long enough so that on most screens, I've got a 24-inch Mac. On most screens, the footer is going to be off the bottom of it. And if you see here, there's a button I put in here, and I'll show you the JavaScript and everything to do this. When I originally came up with this, when I did the original training for Steve Larson last year, he asked me to do the membership site training for his affiliate outrage. And so I came up with a bunch of hacks. I actually did 5 videos. If you want to go check it out, I think it's day 8 on Steve Larson's affiliate outrage. If you want to go there, you can check out all those videos. And I did 5 different videos, and I went through just dozens of different hacks that you can do for membership sites. But one of them that I really like is putting this little toggle in here. So you come into the page here and it says not a member, sign up here. Well, if you are a member, then if you're already a member, log in here. And so you just go back and forth. And the reason why I do that, I just kind of refer to it as leaving the front end open. And the reason I do that is so that anybody who comes here, if somebody gives them the link, if somebody, or even one of your existing customers, if they come here and they end up on this page, well, they can click on this button. Well, anybody else can come in here and say, oh, I'm not a member yet. Let's sign up and create a membership. And what you do then is you put free content inside of the members area so that anybody can come in and they can get a little bit of a taste of what it is that you're giving away, whether it's an info product or you're giving away training on how to fix your vacuum cleaner, whatever it is, what are the 12 tips you need to know in order to maintain your furnace. If you're putting all that inside of a membership area, you can put like the first couple of tips in there, or you can put all the information in there. But so you put in some free stuff. So you want to leave this open so they can come in and get the free stuff. And then using the Wasabi OTO, and we'll talk about that when we get into the membership area itself, you can set it up in there so that whether it's based upon a product that they bought or if it's based upon a tag, either one, you can put in what they call the Wasabi OTO, whereas the content will show on the screen on the left-hand side, normally how you have your column of stuff there. And that's the way we're going to build this one out. Pretty simple. I'm not going to get too crazy on this one. But it'll show in there, the content will show in there, and then they can come in and they can click on it. But when they click on it, what it's going to do is it's going to pop up some information that says, oh, hey, you don't have access to this, but if you click here, you can get access. And so then it will send them to an order form page where they can buy the content that you have inside the members area that you're trying to protect. So I always suggest to people, leave your front end open, put in some free content, and use that free content to upsell somebody to the paid content inside the members area, but get them inside the members area first and do it there, as well as, of course, doing it outside the members area. So I think the page looks really nice. So let's just jump in to our code and see what I did. First off, let's take a look at the box. I mean, obviously I just did padding and stuff on the existing boxes, nothing special there. Same thing here, I just put a little bit of a darkness on the back and that same inner shadow around there like I did on everything else, but I kind of wanted to keep some congruence from one page to the next. So I kind of had to mix up between coming from the coupon and everything else, and then also what I want to do for the home page, and I'm kind of smushing them together here. And so otherwise just a headline, and then this is the box. This was the login, the member access box. And of course you can change your headline right here. That's this text right there. The email, password, confirm your password, the button settings, the button colors, all that kind of stuff is pretty self-explanatory. But I like to put in here, enter the same email you used to purchase and create a password. I need to change the text on that. That should be slightly different. But the point of this is in order to get access to the content that they bought or signed up for or getting free access to or whatever, they need to use the same email address as they used to opt in originally, because you might have them come in and opt in on a page, and you may set a tag on that page. They didn't pay for anything, but they may come and opt in for something. You set a tag, they come into the members area, they consume the free content based upon that tag being shown, and then they can upgrade to the paid content. Or if you have it set as a product or whatever, they always have to come in and use that same email address. Otherwise, it won't know inside of ClickFunnels database to go and grab that person's content and give them access to it. So I'll have to fix up the text on that a little bit. But otherwise, so now the cool part that I want to show you is up in here. First off, we're going to do just a little bit of CSS. And so again, my normal headline thing, and then membership access A is color, and I will show you that in a second where that comes in, because the cool part comes into the tracking code. And so the first part I do here is I say replace the login text. When you do this, let me see here, is it on the screen here? Yeah, already a member with a lowercase m. That always bugged me, so I just put in a little bit of code there just to basically capitalize that M. That's who I am. And so then the next part here is what we're going to say is when the page is done loading, we're going to grab a JavaScript HTML box that I have at the bottom of the screen, and we're going to insert it before the login form div P. And so essentially where that goes, it's not going to be on this page, but there's going to be on the, let me show you here. Let's go in here. So that's this here. So what we're saying is basically before the forget password, we're going to be injecting this little bit of code right in there. So that is what toggles it back and forth between the two different pages. So let's go back up to our tracking code. So that's what we're going to do is we're going to insert that JavaScript box before this other little bit of code. And then this down here, this just says is as people click on that text, what it's going to do is it's going to toggle them back and forth between the registration form and the login form. So now if we scroll down to the bottom, we can go down and take a look at that JavaScript code that's going to actually insert that text. And again, all it is, it just says here, this is a class of go to login, which is the same class as the original text on the page. And then we're going to say not a member, sign up here, and then a little bit of styling just to make the text align and have it give it the proper margin. So there's really nothing you have to do here except this right here. That is the actual CSS ID selector for this JavaScript element. So when you come into yours, the the CSS ID selectors may change. So what you got to do is you got to come in, grab that from right here, come down, copy out this CSS ID selector, come back into the box itself that it's inside of, come down here and put it in right there, because it's telling it how to style this box in particular. And then also up here in the tracking code, you also have to put that in here. So it tells it that it needs to grab a hold of the box from down here and stick it up into the form up there. So we will save the page and we will back out of here, because there's one more thing that I have to show you that I learned while putting this page together. And that is that if you just build an access page by itself, and I guess I've never done this before with all the certainly dozens, if not over 100 different membership sites I have built, I always just put in the access page and the area at the same time. And what I found out is if you just have the access page and then you try to go and preview it, it won't do it. And I understand why, and I'm not going to get into it, but when you go to set this up, always make sure you add in an access page and an area page, both at the same time. So that is it for this video. In the next video, we will go through setting up the membership area. And then after that, we're going to get around to building out Mama's homepage. So again, as always, any questions, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.